Uganda, $8 a night. Ethiopia, $2 meal. Tanzania safari, all in $700. Africa is the most underpriced travel destination on earth, and this video is 10 countries that prove it. Number 1 will surprise you. Subscribe if you want more of this, and let's get into it. Starting off with number 10, Morocco. And yes, Morocco opens the list as the getaway drug, the country that makes Africa accessible to everyone who still knows about the continent. Because Morocco is Africa generally and fully. The call to prayer echoing of Medina walls, the Sahara 2 hours from a UNESCO World Heritage Site, the market culture, the food and the light. The daily reality, budget travelers move through Morocco on a 30 to 45 a day all in. Mid-range is around 60 to 80. The food and the most signature like this, which is the lamb or chicken tagine, is around $4 to $6. The experience that justifies the flight, the Sahara at 5 a.m. You slept in the desert camp outside of Merzouga with actual rugs, actual lanterns and no electricity. Stars so dense they look like noise. What nobody tells you is Morocco has 3 completely different travel identities crammed into one country. Marrakesh is the chaos, beautiful, overwhelming, worth every minute. Fez is the medieval city, the largest car-free urban area on earth. And then there is Sahara and the Atlas Mountains and the blue city of Chesfanen, and a coastline on both Atlantic and Mediterranean Sea that most people never reach. Morocco is a training ground. For first-timers, it's the proof of concept. Africa is not intimidating. Africa is extraordinary, and it is extraordinarily cheap. At number 9, we have Kenya, which earns its spot with a single sentence. The Masai Mara, during the Great Migration, is the single greatest wildlife spectacle on earth. It happens every year between July and October, and you can reach it. Nairobi flight, 2 nights in camp, game drives, the whole thing for under $400, if you're doing it right. The daily reality in Nairobi, Kenya's sprawling, chaotic, but genuinely fascinating capital, runs around $35 to $55 a day. A safari costs are where Kenya demands respect and planning, but the safari is around 80 to 120 per person per night, but mid-range are around 150 to 150. These numbers are higher than East African neighbors, but the Masai Mara is the Masai Mara, which is the greatest show on earth and runs to a specific schedule, and the charges are accordingly different. The experience that justifies the whole flight is the river crossing, right? The 100,000 wild beasts moving north from the Serengeti to the Mara. Your driver gets a call on the radio, you race to the cross point, the noise and the dust and the scale of it. A river of life moving through a river of water while death waits on both sides. What nobody tells you, Nairobi deserves 2 full days, and most people give it 0. The Nairobi National Park is the only national park on earth with a major skyline as its backdrop. Lions with skyscrapers behind them. A day permit is $60 and generally worth it for the photos alone. And Diani Beach on the south, white sand, Indian Ocean, no development, no crowds, is a 3-hour drive from Nairobi and one of the most beautiful beaches in Africa. Guest house on the beach is around $25 to $40 a night. At number 8, we have Senegal, which is West Africa's most accessible entry point, and in Dakar contains one of the most underrated capital cities on the continent. Cosmopolitan, culturally electric, sitting on a peninsula of the Atlantic with food scene and music scene that are completely disproportionate to how little international attention they receive. The daily reality here in Dakar is the most expensive city in this section of the list by West African standards, but expensive here means $40 to $60 a day mid-range, and a guest house, small motel, around $25 to $45 a night. The experience that justifies the flight is the pink lake, Lac Rose from above, a body of water so saturated with salt and algae that it turns the color of strawberry yogurt. What nobody tells you, Gori Island, a 20-minute ferry from Dakar for $3.50, is one of the most historically important places in the world. A tiny island that served as a major transit point in transatlantic slave trade is now UNESCO World Heritage Site of almost unbearable beauty and weight. At number 7, we have Mozambique, which is right now the single most underrated beach destination on the African continent, and, depending on your position on the spectrum of I want genuine paradise that nobody is at, possibly the most underrated beach destination of the world. The daily reality in Mozambique is a country of extreme contrasts, and the budget reflects that. Maputo, the capital, is mid-range Africa, around $40 to $65. The food, about $6 to $10 a plate, and the island, beach destinations run differently. Tofo Beach has guest houses around 20 to 35 a night, but also you can find much higher than 60 to 80. The experience that justifies the flight is the Bajaruto Archipelago, 5 islands in the Indian Ocean National Park, where the water is the color of something a graphic designer invented and then couldn't quite reproduce. And what nobody tells you is that Mozambique has one of the highest concentration of whale sharks, manta rays, and humpback whales of anywhere in the Indian Ocean. So definitely a trip to do. At number 6, we have Rwanda, which earns a special place on the list because it's simultaneously one of the most moving countries on earth and a nation that rebuilds itself from complete destruction in 30 years. And did it with discipline and collective will that has produced one of Africa's most modern and most functional and safest capitals. The experience that justifies the flight is an hour with mountain gorilla family in Virungas. You trek for 1 to 4 hours through dense highland forest, ascending through the mist and altitude. You see them and they will be just chilling there unbothered, eating the leaves. What nobody tells you is Rwanda is one of the trick country. Akagera National Park in the east, Africa's classic savanna experience, lions, elephants, hippos and giraffes. What I suggest is flying to Kigali, 2 days in the city, the memorial, the coffee, the rooftop bars that look out over 1,000 hills. Book your gorilla permit months in advance to the Rwanda Development Board because they sell out fast. At number 5, we have Tanzania, which is where Africa does everything at once. Safari, Indian Ocean Islands, and the highest mountain of the continent, a medieval Swahili city, a spice state that has been running for thousands of years, all of it in one country, and all of it accessible, and outside of the gorilla permits Rwanda requires, at some of the most competitive prices in East Africa. The daily reality, Zanzibar is the number to lead with. A night in the guest house is around $20 to $35, and it can go up to 30 to 55. The experience that justifies the flight is the Ngoro crater at dawn, the largest intact volcanic caldera on Earth. You descend 600 meters into it, and at first light, and it finds a completely self-contained ecosystem. 30,000 animals living their lives on the crater floor in a space so condensed that you see a lion, elephant, zebra, and a black rhino and a flamingo in the same 3-hour morning drive. What nobody tells you is Zanzibar, as a standalone destination, is criminally underused. Most people tag it on to the end of the safari and give it 3 days. Give it 5. Stone Town, an Arab, African, Portuguese, Indian city that has the center on East African spice trade. Number 4 is Egypt. You have the pyramids of Giza, the only remaining wonder of the ancient world, built 4,500 years ago, containing over 2 million stone blocks, each weighing between 2.5 and 15 tons. The daily reality in Egypt is aggressively, almost embarrassingly affordable. Cairo mid-range is 30 to 50 bucks, and a guest house is around 20 to 35 a night. And a full sit-out dinner is approximately to a local restaurant is like $4 to $7. The experience that justifies the flight: Abu Simbel at 5 a.m., 4 temples carved directly into a sandstone cliff by the Ramesses 3,200 years ago. The sun comes up, the 4 colossal seated figures, each 20 meters tall, their faces still carrying expressions, emerge from the rock and face east across the lake. Twice a year, on the 22nd of February and the 22nd of October, the alignment is so precise that the sun penetrates 65 meters into the inner sanctuary and illuminates the statues of gods. What nobody tells you, the Red Sea is one of the world's great diving destinations, and it costs almost nothing by global standards. Uganda and Dahab are the 2 dive hubs. A 2-tank dive day in the hub is one of the best diving destinations in the world, and the cost is just 35 to 55, including equipment. What I would do, flying to Cairo 2 days, Giza in the early morning before the crowds, the Egyptian Museum, overnight train to Luxor, Nile cruise south to Aswan, 3 nights minimum, day trip to Abu Simbel, and then fly to Dahab for 3 nights of diving and doing nothing. Cairo, Aswan, flight home, and total of 10 days. At number 3, we have Ethiopia, which is the wild card on the list and the one that serious travelers will tell you that is the most important country on the continent to visit right now. Because what Ethiopia is offering at the prices it charges is a category of experience that's simply unavailable anywhere else on earth. The daily reality, Ethiopia is by significant margin the cheapest destination on this list. The experience that justifies the flight is Lalibela, 11 monolithic rock churches carved from solid red volcano rock, descending 50 meters below the surface of the earth. Built in the 12th century on the orders of the king who claimed a divine vision. The entrance fee is $50 for a 2-day pass for 11 churches that have been on UNESCO's World Heritage list since 1978 and predate almost everything in European travel by 300 years. What nobody tells you is that Danakil Depression is the most alien landscape on Earth that you can reach without a rocket, the hottest place on the planet's surface, a geological accident where three tectonic plates are pulling apart from each other in real time, producing hydrothermal vents, lava lakes, and salt floods that run in colors. Lastly, the coffee origin story is real, and Ethiopia is where it lives. The Kaffa region in the south is where the coffee plant originates. For the serious traveler, the one who wants something that cannot be explained at a dinner party without a slightly pause from the person you're talking to, Ethiopia. Number 2 is Uganda, which is the most undervalued wildlife destination in Africa and which contains the single most compelling argument for revising every assumption you've made about what African travel costs. The number, Uganda mountain gorilla trekking permits cost $700 per person, Rwanda's permit cost is around $1,500 per person. The daily reality is Uganda runs lean. You will be able to be there with around 25 to 40 to $45 a day. Beyond the gorillas, the chimpanzee trekking permits in the Kibale National Park cost around $200, and the experience that justifies the flight is the Murchison Falls, the Nile, the longest river in the world, running 1,650 kilometers from Lake Victoria to the Mediterranean Sea, is forced through a gap in the rock 7 meters wide, and the entire volume of the Nile, 7 meters. The noise of it is physical, and the spray reaches you from 100 meters away. A boat safari up the Nile to the base of the falls, past hippos, crocodiles, and elephants drinking from the bank in numbers that seem impossible. When nobody tells you, Uganda is the birding capital of Africa, over 1,000 bird species in the country the size of Oregon, more species than the entire North American continent, and the shoe-billed stork, one of the strangest and prehistoric-looking birds on Earth. Grey, enormous, with a bill like a Dutch dog. Number 1, we have Namibia, which is the answer, and let me explain exactly why, because this one requires an explanation. Namibia was not the cheapest country on this list in absolute terms. Ethiopia and Uganda have it beat on daily cost. What Namibia has is what makes it ambiguously the number 1 pick is a combination that exists nowhere else on Earth. A landscape so extraordinary it doesn't feel real, wildlife in total abundance, infrastructure that makes self-drive entirely possible, and cheap and prices that make every single premium experience feels accessible. The daily reality, you spend around $60 to $80 a day. And then if you do want like a upgrade kind of lodge, it will be 110 to 140. The experience that justifies the flight is the Deadville at 6 a.m. You drive into Sosuvli in the pre-dawn dark, the red dunes, the highest sand dunes on Earth, up to 325 meters. The color of burnt cinnamon are tuning orange in the first light. You park, you walk 20 minutes across a white clay pan, and you arrive in a Deadville, a dried lake bed, completely white, surrounded by the tallest red dunes on Earth. What nobody tells you is Namibia is one of the safest countries in the sub-Saharan Africa, and one of the most friendly first-timer friendly. The road infrastructure is excellent by standards of the region, and the petrol stations are reliable along the main routes. The skeleton coast, the 500-kilometer stretch of Atlantic coastline where the cold Benguela Cairn meets the desert and produces a permanent fog bank that sits on the beach, where the bones of shipwrecks and whale skeletons lie in the sand. And the stars, Namibia has the darkest skies of any inhabited country in the world, the Milky Way seen from a desert lodge deck with zero light pollution. It's not the thin band you've seen from a dark hillside at home. It is structural, a three-dimensional arc of gas and star and dust that covers the full hemisphere of sky and makes the scale of things briefly and terrifyingly clear. For a first-time Africa traveler with a moderate budget, Namibia is the answer. So, number 1, Namibia, rent the car, drive the dunes, book the trip. 10 countries, 1 continent, and the most underpriced travel destinations on earth. And now you have the numbers. Uganda, Namibia, Ethiopia. One of them is calling you. Drop it in the comments, subscribe for more of this every week, and go book something. Happy travels.